Massive failure, and I came out watching this movie not liking it at all. There's not really much in the game for you to do. No side quests, no other playable characters like Katara or Sokka. Not even a playable segment where you, I don't know, let's say, can fly out to see that most of the artwork in the game from the movie is much more faithful to the original series.
Of the game are completely horrible, where for some reason the jump button has been mapped to your B button on the Wii.
Oh, thank God it was just a nightmare. Good thing I don't need to play any more bad Avatar games.
Hello there.
Oh wow, here I am talking about Avatar for a second time. Well, I can't lie, I just love this show for what it is, and yeah, it's true, despite being introduced into this series through the McKnight Shyamalan movie, which turned out to be...
We're here with some of the younger first fans for The Last Airbender, and we'll start with the youngest. What do you think?
It sucked.
It sucked.
It's terrible.
It's horrible.
I really didn't like it.
Pretty much, like, they skipped through the entire movie, pretty much. They rushed the entire thing.
Like, it didn't, like, explain things fully.
The movie could have been as bad as it is right now, and if they had just called him Aang once, Aang!
Too rushed, dude. They didn't have enough detail in it.
They skipped a lot of things. The acting wasn't good.
Never been more disappointed in a movie.
I'll be happy if they at least said Aang once.
Aang!
I thought that it kind of sucked if you liked Avatar the show.
I don't actually think M. Night Shyamalan has ever even seen this show.
I want my money back.
There was a young lady dressed as a Kyoshi warrior, and she has actually taken the costume off because she wasn't even in the movie.
I don't think, did any of you guys like the movie? No! Yeah, they didn't like it.
Yeah, after the movie came out, fans of the show were really quick to start bashing on the movie with their reviews, making this one of, if not the worst adaptations to film ever made. Along with one of the worst film-to-game adaptations to be made. Now, after the movie came out in 2010, 2 years later, the creators released the sequel series, The Legend of Korra. Now, I personally liked The Legend of Korra, but it wasn't up to the hype level of the original show. It's not a bad show in any way, but I can see why some people think it's not better. Since Korra sort of helped improve the series after the bomb that M. Night Shyamalan brought, you'd think that that would be the end of the story. Nah. We did get several things from this series when it comes to games. We had tabletop games, we had mobile releases, and we had console releases. Now, I didn't get to play a lot of these games back when they first came out, but judging by these non-existent reviews from IGN, I bet I didn't miss much now, did I? However, in 2023, we had some releases, such as Raid Shadow Legends, Avatar Generations, an RPG for mobile devices, and with artwork looking this stunning? But the big reveal, of course, was the announcement of Avatar: Quest for Balance. A game set to release on all modern consoles and would be expected to retell the whole story of Avatar: The Last Airbender in video game form. At first, I was concerned. Look at these graphics, what did you expect? But with the trailers advertising this as a big Avatar release, I was looking forward to seeing what this game had in store. The trailers made it look like that we could fly with Appa in a small map-like area. Platforming elements, combat elements was also in here. The only thing that was keeping my hopes down from this game were the graphics. And most of the animations here and there. What could possibly go wrong this time? Everything. Everything went wrong. Sold on store shelves for a grand total of $50, Avatar: Quest for Balance ended up being what I would call a disaster. This game decides to merge all the storylines from the original show into one big game, and it does not succeed in any way. First of all, the story of this game is told through a recap, which isn't a bad thing, but why couldn't the story just be, I don't know, the one from the show? Secondly, when I said that this game was going to try and merge all of the stories from the show, I lied. This game skips a lot of important plot details from the original show's story that made it important in the first place, so that you can understand the story. For example, in the show during Book 2, Aang finally comes face to face with Toph for the first time. A blind girl, by the way. We go through a 6-minute long sequence where we see Toph have a fight in a tournament, which causes Aang to seek out the blind bandit to help him learn earthbending. After finally finding her and trying to convince her, Toph makes the big choice and decides to run away from home and from her overprotected parents to help the Avatar achieve the next element in bending. In the show, this was something serious, and I love it for that. In the game, it never happens! Everything I mentioned about Toph and her side of the story from the original show isn't even part of this game! She just shows up and helps Aang learn earthbending. Oh, but first you gotta help me solve this puzzle, and by help me I mean you gotta do it. And then after that we move on to the next part of the story. No fight in Earth Rumble, no fight with the boulder during Earth Rumble, no overprotective parents' storyline for Toph! But no, it's fine, because remember, it's a recap story, so here's everything written out in a text box. Hey, future me here. Yeah, it turns out that I kind of forgot that it was in the game. You see, this is what happens when you play a game once and then don't return to it after a whole year. So, yeah, the bit with Toph and her parents and Earth Rumble, that's in the game. But I recorded this going off of memory, so yeah, my bad. Alright, hold on. What about the ending to Book 2? Aang begins to use the Avatar state. The fight was just about to get intense, and then, boom! Azula shoots lightning and hits Aang in the back. He's down, unable to wake up, so they retreat. Iroh then gets captured, Katara heals Aang with waterbending, and the start of Book 3 has Aang finally waking up after being unconscious for weeks. He gets caught up with everything that happened in the fight, and they are now in Fire Nation territory. In the game, son of a bitch! He's already awake right after getting zapped by Azula? He got caught up with everything that happened while he was sleeping? The next chapter just starts off with Aang and the others already in the Fire Nation? You know what? If you just want the full story experience like how I wanted, just go watch the show again. It's a lot better. It's on Paramount Plus and Netflix. Alright, let's talk about the gameplay. The trailers advertise this game to be a combat platforming experience. Puzzles. About 70% of this game, you are just solving puzzles to progress through the story. Yes, there is combat in this game, but for some reason, somebody at the development studio thought it was a good idea to have every battle locked within a specific limit. Meaning, if I wanted to skip a fight that had nothing to do with story progression, I couldn't. I would be forced to fight. When it comes to the level design, it's fine. It's just a small open map for you to run around in and through people, I guess. But other than that, it's pretty empty. But wait, this is the Appa segment. It looks kind of okay. It looks like I'll be able to fly around this map doing different objectives. It's Temple Run. Temple Run! Yeah, I know, I call this game bad, but looking back at it now, it's fine. Yes, it's a game based on the bad movie adaptation. Yes, it was a game that took Zuko's story and told everything from his perspective instead of the main perspective, which was interesting at the time. Yes, this is the game that had all the concept art for the movie that took inspiration from the show's designs until the studio said, no! The jump button was mapped to the B button, by the way. I just want to remind you on that. Quest for Balance tried to do something ambitious, but with the style the game went with, the gameplay, heck, even the voice acting. The voice acting was fine, but every time you played as Aang and you want to fight, he makes it very well clear that he is the Avatar.
I am the Avatar. I am the Avatar. I am the Avatar. I am the Avatar. I am the Avatar.
One thing that I will say that I like about this game are the cutscenes, especially the 2D hand-drawn cutscenes. A one-to-one recreation of the designs from the show-ish, just done at a higher quality. Some of the 3D cutscenes don't look bad either, but it just looks a little off-putting, especially with the lighting and art style choices they decided to go with. Okay, you know what? I take it back. Screw these 3D cutscenes. The music isn't as memorable as the show. Every song feels like a simple copy-paste, only just different tunes. Fire Nation areas tend to have more suspenseful music. The Earth Kingdom gives off a more mysterious yet calm vibe. The Northern Water Tribe has a very wintry aesthetic to its music, and we can't forget about the bending challenges. Probably the calmest music you'll ever hear out of this game. It's so relaxing, the theme has to loop itself every 2 minutes! For a challenge room where you need to utilize different bending styles that you learn throughout the game, and also it could take you a loving minute of just a minimum of 5 minutes, it's not a bad song. But when the game decides to give you a big challenge room where it could take you up to, I don't know, let's say over 20 minutes and you don't know how to solve the puzzle, meaning you'll be here for an even longer period, just be ready to hear that same song for every challenge room that loops almost every 3 minutes. Alright, so the gameplay was boring, story was mid, voice acting was mid. It was overall just not a good experience. I mean, it took me a whole year just to start playing it again just to make this video. I just wish that there was just one Avatar: The Last Airbender video game. I'm sure some of the others that I never got to play were fine, but from my perspective, they were just big flops. You have an IP that is worthy of a AAA title, and you don't want to go for it, so instead you just sideline it into a smaller game like a kart racer or a fighting game, or when you do eventually give it a big game release, you give it to a very small group of developers that just create disappointment. Well, one day, I guess.
Dear God, please let this be it.
Yeah, you know what? Move over, Quest, for waste of my time. Let's talk about the new kid on the block. A new Avatar game has once again dropped, and this time, it's a fighting game. Let's see. 2D visuals? Okay. Amazing gameplay? Uh-huh. Okay voice acting? Well, that was expected. A questionable story that isn't a retelling of the original show? Count me in! Yes, believe it or not, Avatar Legends, the fighting game, is pretty good! The story is, something, but you mix in Aang with Korra and Kyoshi while also doing something original was actually pretty interesting. The comedy of this game was on point.
Did you say your name was Ong?
You keep that to yourself! Don't you dare speak his name like that ever again! The soundtrack was definitely a step up from Quest for Balance. And the voice acting, despite needing some work, it is a good starting point in improving. Every animation is 2D hand-drawn, which just blows my mind. They do use 3D effects for camera tricks, but everything in this game is 2D hand-drawn, and I love it. The gameplay is nice and responsive with no button delay. Online crossplay? Count me in. We finally have it! The greatest Avatar game is finally in our hands! The story being about 3 generations of the Avatar coming together to solve a bigger problem was handled kind of nicely. To an extent. Yeah, some parts don't make sense. Like, this game introduces new forms of bending, but it's never brought up again. Having everyone act differently was also completely random. Katara doesn't know who Aang is. Korra is best friends with Azula, which doesn't make sense timeline-wise. Sokka acting wise? Toph acting like a conqueror? And Ozai? My guy, why are you acting so friendly? I mean, this achievement that I got while I was fighting Zuko actually made me laugh. I'm teaching my son some discipline.
Some discipline. Good job.
Oh, I'm father of the year right now.
Yo, tone boy.
What's your tone, boy? Father, that is the name of the trophy. That is the name of the father of the year.
Bro. Dude, Apollo and the gift of prophecy right there.
I'm sorry.
You are father of... Maybe the father of the year was the trophies we got along the way.
Oh my god. Overall, Avatar Legends the fighting game is hands down the best Avatar video game experience I've had. And for it only being $30, it's worth checking out. Not to mention the roadmap of DLC that is planned for this game. And this is just the start of it all. Hey, check it out! The live-action Netflix adaptation of Avatar The Last Airbender Season 2 just dropped. Well, to be fair, we all knew that the live-action adaptation of Avatar was going to be bad as soon as we found out that the original creators dropped out. But hey, check it out! There's a new Avatar movie out right now! And it takes place in between the events of the original show and Legend of Korra? And there's a new series coming out in October just before my birthday? And it takes place right after Korra! Yes! Yes! This is what we wanted the whole time! Oh my god, thank you, Paramount! Where can I watch it?